Good morning again.
Good morning.
How's everyone doing?
Yes.
Wonderful. I have a little testimony myself to share. I worked on my presentation today for several hours and got it nice and pretty, and went early this morning to put it on a flash drive for Brother Aram, and it was gone. And I know enough about computers to know that that doesn't just happen, and I'm very careful about what I do. And I saved it and saved it and saved it into the proper file, and as I went to go look for it, I looked through the whole computer, and I thought, well, maybe somehow it went into the trash, but the trash was gone. And I couldn't find it in there because I couldn't find the trash. So I looked in every subfolder, and to make a long story short, I wanted to regress into the old Sharyn, but my sweet daughter came over to me and put her arm on me and said, let's pray. And I said, let's just let you pray. So I'm upset right now. So she prayed for me, and I was ready for her to go on. And then got to church. I did reboot the computer because I know about that as well, and still nothing. Looked twice, and I decided I've got something else as a backup, and it was going to be so boring, and I had no other choice. And I prayed again, and I said, Lord, you obviously don't want me to do this one, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. So let's just go with that. But I opened my computer up the last minute, and all of a sudden, my trash file showed up. And I thought, well, where were you? So when I needed you. So I opened it up, I typed in the title, and there she was. So I drug her back out, put her there. Everything's good. So praise Father for removing the blockage and revealing my nice little thing that I tried to prepare for you. So let's go ahead and get started, and we will begin. I have a special friend that I made when I was in Australia. His name is Gavin. Well, let me just put this up here. Gavin Devlin, this is for you. This health and healing highlight is dedicated to you, Gavin, because you are a new friend from Australia, and you requested some information about a topic called Purslane. And it's a very interesting topic, and my brother Ben was very excited about it. He's the one that introduced it to me, so I was happy to share on this. So let's begin. Okay. Purslane is believed to have its origins from India and Pakistan, but now it can be found all over the world with the exception of Antarctica and other inhabitable regions. All right, I'm going to let you try to pronounce that botanical name. And most of us... Oh, I did go too far. Excuse me. Very sensitive here. There we go. All right. So most of us think that this is a weed, and we what's the word I'm looking for? We give to Monsanto our attention to get rid of this wonderful thing that God has so freely given to us for a good purpose. It looks like a weed, yes, but it's really not. There exist two subspecies of purslane. There's wild and or common purslane, and then there is garden purslane. It is the garden purslane that is grown and used as a vegetable plant, while the common purslane is mostly used as a medicinal herb. Well, let's talk about that for a moment. Medicinal purposes that purslane has is that the leaves and the young shoots are the parts of the plant that is mostly used for herbal medicine. The leaves are used preferably fresh, but may also be dried for later use as a tincture. Purslane is a very nutritious plant that contains high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, as well as proteins, sugar, and mucilage. It is a good source of vitamin A, B1, C, E, beta-carotene, and nicotinamide. I think I'm saying that correctly. Okay. Which is an essential human nutrient, also known as vitamin B3, so we'll just go with that. And many minerals, including magnesium and potassium, which also have been shown to have an antidepressant effect as well. Purslane contains high amounts of omega-3 fatty acid, which also strengthens our immune system. Now, these substances also help to lower elevated blood fat values and hence reduce the risk of heart attacks and blood clots. This so-called weed has diuretic properties, and it can be used to cleanse the body of toxins and has a cooling and fever-lowering agent. It also may be helpful as an herbal remedy for ailments related to the urinary tract. Purslane can also be useful for gastrointestinal problems such as diarrhea, dysentery, acute enteritis, which is inflammation of the small intestine, and appendicitis. This herb has also been used to treat mastitis, which is inflammation of the mammary glands, hemorrhoids, and bleeding after childbirth. And the seeds have also been used to fight against intestinal worms. So this is a very potent little weed. I like that very much. All right, let's look at the therapeutic purposes for this plant. Here I put some pictures up so you can see a little bit different versions of the plant, and one with a flower that's budding in the middle, coming open. This plant can be used to treat burns, insect bites, eczema, headaches, stomach, intestinal, and liver ailments, cough, shortness of breath, sore eyes, gout, and arthritis. It is also considered to help benefit conditions such as osteoporosis and psoriasis. So it's really loaded, isn't it? And you see it growing very low on the ground. Usually it comes up in the sidewalk or in the cracks or near the driveway, and we walk on it, and that's how we show respect to it. But it's such a valuable thing. We don't want to overlook it. Okay. Now this is a picture of somebody has put together a nice salad, and you can use it as a wild, what do we call that? Foraging plant? A wild edible is what I was looking for. So it can be used as a fresh salad mix, stir-fried, or cooked. When you cook it, it has a mucilaginous quality to it, so it makes it very suitable for soups and stews. Australian Aborigines used the seeds to make seed cakes, which I thought was appropriate for Gavin to know. All right, so and if you'll notice, they have deep green leaves with red edges and a green stem. Not always do they have that, though, but I just wanted to kind of give you a close-up of what that looks like. So identifying the real purslane as opposed to its counterfeit is pretty easy to do. Purslane has a slight thickness to their leaves with a waxy feel to them. And as you can see here, some of them have a red tinge around the edges of the leaves. Also, the leaves grow out from the stem, resembling a star of 4 leaves. Most notably, if you break the stem of purslane, there is no sticky white liquid. It is clear. On the other hand, we do not want to confuse another weed that grows near purslane called spurge. Spurge is poisonous. This plant will have a milky substance that comes out of it when you break the stem, and it is responsible for the death of sheep and other farm animals. Side effects and possible interactions of purslane are considered to be safe. So the possible interactions and side effects are actually good. They're considered to be safe as a medicinal herb, and also when you're cooking them as a vegetable or using them as a spice. But if you are a pregnant woman versus a pregnant man, if you are pregnant, you should not use this herb in a therapeutic dose, as it may have a contraction effect on the uterus. As the herb contains 1.7% oxalic acid, it should not be consumed in large quantities by those suffering from digestive ailments, those who are prone to kidney stones, or have rheumatoid arthritis. The sick and the elderly and the very young and women who are nursing should also avoid the wild purslane plant on a general principle. So in conclusion, the best part about purslane is that it is everywhere you find people. So everywhere you find people, you will find purslane.